Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Pine Podcast. I'm here at Murphy's Law Irish Pub in the Easton Alex Entertainment District in Rochester, New York. I have my friends Mike and Jen here with me. Thank you guys for giving up your time to hang out and chat with us a little bit. Quick promo stuff. Please make sure to like and subscribe to all of our channels or wherever you find your podcast needs. And also on our website at behindthepinepodcast.com. Make sure to check out our merch store brought to you by AJ Custom Apparel. All right, well, guys, let's dive into it. So Mike and Jen, I'll have you guys introduce yourselves. Let us know how long you've been in the industry, where you work, and we'll just kind of kick it off from there. Whoever wants to go first.
Okay. Well, my name is Jen. I've been in the industry for far too long that I need to remember. Yeah, I've been doing this for probably, I'd say, about 30 years.
Well, got me beat.
Yeah, that's good. That's about it. I was at about 20. So we got a new record holder with Jen.
Yeah, got me beat. Hi, I'm Mike. I started bartending 23 years ago in California when I was living out there for a little while. They needed a bartender at the restaurant where I was serving and for Mother's Day. And I was like, oh, I'll do it. And that was it.
That's it. That's all she wrote. Yeah. And now the industry's got its hooks in you and it's game over.
Yep.
I'm more of like a mixture of serving and bartending.
That's good. That's to have the balance is definitely interesting. We had Lauren on a little while ago and my buddy Bruds, and they were talking about starting off as servers, moving to bartenders, doing a little bit of both. And then also, when you're bartending, you're also cocktailing for the servers and the different dynamics that, the places that I work don't have, which I'm very thankful for. So, hats off to you guys for having both of those things. One of the things we always talk about, and we'll kind of lead off with this just because it's familiar to me. Well, first off, this is the first time we've had someone on the show that I think meeting for the first time. Jen and I, just like most bartenders were saying, we look familiar. Yeah. We think we know each other from some point in time, whether it's a bar or somewhere else.
Yeah, it's definitely a small world out there, and I'm sure we know each other from somewhere down the road.
But this is definitely someone that on the show that I kind of really meeting for the first time. But Mike and I have known each other for a couple years now. And you'll notice I'm actually donning my Maple Leafs hat for the first time during the show. Mike wandered into Magpie one night to watch a Leafs game as being a fellow Leafs fan. And for those of you listening out of the area, this is a Buffalo Sabres region. So when Leafs fans, someone like a Leafs fan runs into another Leafs fan, it kind of becomes a thing. And I promised Mike, if everyone out there, don't hate me. I am a Leafs fan, die hard. That's how Mike and I met, became friends.
Yep.
And Mike, so where do you work?
I work at Titus Tavern. Been there since they opened in January 2013. So coming up on 13 years in January. And then I also bartend at Bar Bill on Empire Boulevard, the new location here in Rochester, for about 2 years now.
Very nice. So we have so much in common, Mike and I. And Jen, where are you working these days?
I'm currently also working at Titus Tavern, but it's twice a month there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have the availability for me, so I also work at the new Whiskey River Upper Deck at the port.
Oh, really? I haven't been there. How has that been?
It's been pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went there last week to see, was it Crazy Train? That's right.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of live music there?
Yes, we do live music on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Wow.
And Fridays and Sundays usually tend to start about 9:30, but with his other location not performing music at this time, we're starting a little bit earlier on Fridays and Saturdays, which is now 8:30. So, and on Sundays, it ranges between 3:30 and 4 o'clock.
So is that typically more of like a live music venue? Is that like the thing there?
Yes.
Okay. Is that like your first time working at a more of that kind of a venue, or is it?
Yes.
How's that going? How's that different or better or worse? Or?
Well, I'm a little bit older than I've got a lot of more years on everybody because I am 52 years old. I'm not afraid to say that. I tended to find it a little bit harder for me because getting home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is a little difficult, but I just kind of tune a lot of the music out and just do my job.
Are people like when the music starts, is it kind of like the bars? Like I've talked to, like we've had people on that work like wedding venues and stuff, at like country clubs, but they're kind of talking about the start and stop of the night where it's, the pre-cocktails and then stops for the whole bells and whistles of the wedding party, actually. And then going back, is it a pretty solid flow? Is it like more before the show? Is there like intermissions where it gets busier? Is it kind of stopping?
I feel like when it's a good band, the flow is consistent.
Okay.
Yeah. There is a break here and there. Sometimes depending on the band, if they want to just go straight through, then it's just nonstop. But then when the band ends, it's kind of like everything kind of dies down a little bit.
So once the music's done, the whole thing kind of dies
Yes.
down.
Yes.
That's still 2, 3 in the morning, still a late night after
But you'll
listening to music.
still get your stragglers because we're at the port. So a lot of people dock their boat and they come up and they hang out.
Okay.
Um,
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
We barely even have parking on Park Ave, let alone
yeah.
boat
So
docks.
coming from every angle, I feel like. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. We don't get any boats at Titus Tavern.
No, I don't think.
Even though it is in Irondequoit, not
Yeah.
Irondequoit Bay.
Nope.
So I've talked to people before about, how people kind of work at two different places. Are your places kind of similar, or are they?
No, we don't have a kitchen at Titus Tavern.
Okay.
We did have the Cooper Deli next door for the first few years we were open, so that was kind of our kitchen. So now we just rely on places to will deliver to us. If
Mhm.
customers can order and have food delivered.
We have potato chips though.
We do. We have chips, and we have sandwiches, little sliders like ham or turkey that they put on our Bloody Marys on the weekends. So if there's
Yeah.
lunch meat and rolls left over, we can make little sandwiches for
Okay.
people. There's something.
That or for staff.
Yeah, or for staff. Yeah.
And then our regulars they bring in popcorn and chips and dip,
Yeah.
and
And our
people order
bartenders, too.
pizza.
I bring
Yeah.
in candy.
All the time.
Well, and at Barbell, everybody knows me as they call me the Candy Man because I bring candy for everybody. I just have little jars on the bar, and all the staff, like the kitchen staff, they all come out and steal candy throughout the night. So
See, everyone's got their own little culture, and
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. We've talked about that a bunch of times. Is you kind of develop these, because bars, you look at them from the bird's eye view, it's like, oh, they're all the kind of same. You guys serve the same stuff, you do
Mhm.
everything, but
Yeah.
the staff is really one of the biggest things that make the culture what it is.
For sure.
And like you said, little things like bringing candy in and those kind of things. It's like we just know what to expect, and then if you bond with the regulars, you bond with the bar actually, and you kind of make it a thing. And I know Bar Bill is a lot more food intensive.
yeah.
Again, we're in Sabres country, but this very much more so probably Bill's country.
Mhm.
And Bar Bill's got the wings that you got to go try out. So make sure you check out these guys at Titus Tavern.
Yeah.
Want to catch a live show or want to get some candy, you know where to see these guys.
Oh, there's a live show when I'm at Titus Tavern too. That's my stage.
Yeah.
And Barbell, really.
Is there any way to compare bartending in somewhere like LA as opposed to somewhere like Rochester or no?
The places I bartended in LA, like the one was like a high-end family restaurant, I think is kind of what they were known as, chain, a LA chain. That's where I started. And then a bar and restaurant that I helped open in 2003 was more high volume.
Mm-hmm.
And we did have some live music, but we had a DJ, which I did that for the first few years. I DJ'd a lot. So we had a dance floor. Like there's like the dining. It was an old Italian restaurant that we renovated a little bit, but it still had that like old style to it. And so we had the dining room and dinner service, not anything too fancy. But then we had a certain point, like 9:30, and we clear the tables off the dance floor in front of the DJ booth, and it's a like full-fledged dance floor. And we had a couple pool tables, and it's
That's
kind of
pretty
crazy.
cool.
And that place has a huge Bills backers group that started when I was still out there, and it's like grown exponentially. It's incredible.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So
It's cool when people do like kind of displace to a different area, and then they're like, oh, I want to bring a little bit of our culture here, because I know there's like we do like the Chelsea Supporters Club at Dead Red Pecker, we do the Liverpool Supporters Club at Half Pint and at Magpie, and we'll bring scarves from our supporters club and go out to other places and drop off scarves. Like the Bills backer thing, I know there's one in San Diego too, I think.
yeah.
So it is really cool to do that. You guys work nights, days, a little bit of both?
Nights. All night, because I'm a contractor by day. So
Yeah, you're tied up during the day.
I do both as
You
well.
both.
Mhm.
You have a preference, or it all depends on what kind of mood you're in?
I prefer day
Yeah.
just to get my day over with, so I can go home and have family time. But unfortunately, with where I'm at right now, we're busier during the nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, like for me, financially, I have to work the nights. That's the only way I can only work 2 shifts and get away with it.
Yeah.
But like, we were talking even before we started shooting that it's with kids and everything else and family time.
Right.
To get out and be done with your day is nice. And also I'm at a point where like by the time closing time comes around, I don't want to close.
Yeah.
I don't mind getting there and opening because, hey, I'm here. Not much going on. I got to open. But then I worked like the couple day shifts I've worked. I'm like, okay, I am done. I'm going to count my drawer and I'm walking out the fucking door, and I don't have to look back.
Prior to this job, I used to work at Salvatore's Garage Door for about 7 years, and I had the best shifts. So when the summertime came, I had off. I got out at work at 5 o'clock and I was off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I go back to work till Wednesday.
Wow.
And I got to spend that whole entire, 5 days with my grandkids and get all caught up with work, work at home and housework and stuff like that. Like it was perfect.
No, and
But
and the flexibility is good, but it's like, it's really, really tough at night when you're like, okay, when you're doing stuff during the day, family time, like I have my day job and other people have multiple jobs or they're working at multiple places. It's tough when you're transitioning from day to night or anything else and then trying to get in the zone for something. And, you're going there and you're like, I've had a long day. I don't want to be here. And they get people like, well, I'm coming out for my night and you're going to deal with me for 6 hours, whether you like it or not.
right.
And you got to sit there and, dance and juggle and do all the fun stuff that someone else, someone that's coming out wants to do.
Yeah.
But it's, and in Rochester, it's a drinking town. It really is. People drink their faces off here.
They do.
Yeah, they really fucking
I've
do.
seen a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now that I don't drink as much, I tell people all the time, I'm like, man, was that me a little while ago? And I try not to be
you're
judgmental.
worse.
Yeah. I try not to be judgmental, but people do drink here. Is the drinking
yeah.
culture different in LA?
Well, where I lived, most of the 10 years I was there was right near UCLA. Like I was Brentwood, so a lot of college kids coming through. So there was a lot of drinking. We had kind of a running joke that a Brentwood fight was like two guys that square off, and you think something's going to happen, and they just kind of like.
A lot of posturing.
Yeah, and then the bouncer comes in. They're like, "Oh man, you're
so
lucky he was
came
here
in."
because I was gonna, we didn't have too much
Do you
trouble."
find yourself that you got to be the bouncer sometimes?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I find that a lot with
yeah.
myself, and I can't control my anger because I just get the Italian gets out of me.
No, if you're my mom's Italian, and I always told everyone, I go, if she's out and about, or if she were ever a bouncer, I don't even know if we'd had anyone in the bar. She would just get pissed off and toss everyone out
Yeah.
all the time. But no, the bouncing thing, it's when you're back there and you're seeing the night from our viewpoint,
Mhm.
you're seeing every little thing. When everyone's doing like, okay, this guy's kind of going this way, and you're trying not to focus on it, but you might have to mitigate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so while something out there it might be building up, you're kind of building up too, because you're like following it, hoping it just goes away.
Yeah.
But then you either get like the altercations, like, bro, you're so lucky that I'm not going to do anything, or you're so lucky my girl's here. It's like,
I've encountered a lot of situations like this before, and I've had to cut somebody off before. Quite a few times, not just once or twice, but quite a few times. And this one in particular situation, this young man was there by himself, and he just kept getting shots after shots after shots while he was waiting for his food to get done. So shortly after that, he had a couple people come in, and I said, I can no longer give you any more shots, because he starts, slurring his words and he's swaying back and forth. So the people that he came in with got very angry with me and started a full-blown fight, wanted to fight me, call me all kinds of names and threatening me and telling me the kicker was, get a real job.
oh yeah, right.
Get a real job. I love that.
Who's gonna serve you?
Yeah, get a real job.
Yeah.
But then, lo and behold, I don't think people realize that we do tend to make pretty good darn money
Oh yeah.
at the end of the day.
Well, and that's part of something I always say is that, first of all, we do have people that leave for more career style things and then come back, or just have this as a second extra way to make money.
Right.
But everyone should have to work in the service industry for a little while.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
It's such a character builder, and you see so much more behind the scenes than
Yeah.
people think. And like we were talking about, playing bouncer, keeping an eye on people, having to cut people off and be responsible,
Right.
having everyone yell at you all night about stuff like that. You have to have a certain kind of demeanor and an etiquette and everything else, and
Right.
how to deal with things and when. And also, you got management looking at inventory and all these other things. People just think it's just a big playground, and it's a default job that people just ended up at. But
But at the end of the day, you're like a bartender, a mom, or a dad.
right,
You're a therapist. You're,
everything,
a bouncer.
right.
Yeah. You're
And you're responsible, and you're there, and you're dealing with people that you're serving alcohol to. And it's always the people, we talked about this before, always the people that never tip, that always want the best service. It's always the people who probably don't even have a job that tell you to get a real job.
Right.
And you got the people that are just normal, upstanding citizens that come in and they're easy to deal with. They're good customers. Or it's other service industry people
Sure.
that come in and get it. And you can kind of pick up when it's someone that has worked in the industry or does work in the industry. And you're like, okay, well, you're just going to wait your turn, be patient, order properly, tip well. So you're going to get my attention tonight. Because the asshole, like, I don't understand why people get so pissed off about being cut off. Like, this isn't a free for all. This isn't any of that. And we have to do this responsibly. There's a license involved.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, you're drunk, so you don't even understand how you're disrupting everything else around you, because I'm keeping the whole bar together.
Yeah.
I'm making sure this person's having a good time, and these people are, kind of a different vibe. So I want to make sure they feel comfortable here. And people just disrupt that all the time. And I get that a lot on Saturdays when I come in, because Saturday people do drink during the day because it's the first full day of the weekend. And when I come in for my shift, they've been drinking all day. I have to kind of like nicely nudge them out the door before the people that are sober starting their night come in.
Yeah.
Because it's like oil and water.
Yeah. The two will clash. That's for
yeah.
sure.
Well, they're trying to hang out with these people that just walked in. They just got showered and dressed and came out. And you look like you're in your pajamas because you came in this morning.
Yep.
And you're slurring and swaying. And you're like,
Yeah.
If there's anything, if you get cut off, it's nothing personal. You just had too much. Call it a night.
Like, oh, I'm Ubering. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's irresponsible and you're disruptive. And
Well, and I think there's something that I was told years ago when I first started bartending is that we're really not allowed to let people get drunk. Like, get a little buzz on, that's fine, but we're not supposed to let people get drunk. And people think that, I mean, it's contradictory because we're serving alcohol,
right.
but we're not supposed to let people definitely not get
But
out of
that's
control.
when communication comes in play, because I work with a couple other people behind the bar at the same time.
Mhm.
So not only am I serving him, other bartenders are serving him too.
Sure.
And I don't know what they've already served him until I start to see the actions.
Yeah.
And that's why we make sure, like, if, whether it's a bouncer or someone else I'm working with, like, that person's done.
Mhm.
Right.
And you got to let people know, because it's crazy to me how desperate people are to stay out and get more drunk. And it's like you're taking their firstborn child away from them by saying, hey, move on.
Or it's like a competition to them.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm going to go over here. Like, we know all the tricks.
Mhm.
But, they will get around to different bartenders. There's sometimes people that are on medication. They come in dead sober and they have one drink and they start acting a little loopy.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I can't ask for your medication list. But at the same time, I'm like, I've seen people I've seen things on the internet and stuff. They have like cards where they'll cut people off.
Mhm.
They're like, hey, you're done for the night. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if they're so fucked up that they can't read, or you don't want them to start a scene either, because they're just embarrassing themselves and you can't get through to someone in that mindset.
Yeah.
I did to say 90% of the time they take it the wrong way.
At least. My only thing I can say to people is I go, listen, dude, you're just done here for the night. It's tomorrow's another day. I go, the next time I see you, I promise you your first drink's on me. No hard feelings. I'm not.
There's nothing wrong with going out and have a few drinks and have a good time, but just to a
Yeah.
limit.
Yeah. Because
We
then
gotta understand the responsibilities that we have.
because,
Top of it.
and as a bartender, when you're sitting there and you're like, should I cut this guy off? Should I intervene? Should I do something? And most of the times, if you go against your gut and don't,
Mhm.
that person's a problem later on anyways. And
sure.
nothing ever gets any better.
And I feel like if you start asking yourself, should I?
Yes.
You should.
You should.
Right.
It's even a thought in your mind.
Yeah.
And I'll wait for people. I'm like, all right, I'll give you to the last minute. And they're like, can you close me out? I'm like, fuck, yes, I can. Please.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely.
Or
Don't
when
even tip me.
you
Just get
close
out.
them out, and then they'll say, can I close out after you've already closed them out?
Oh, then they
I
got to look
already
through
closed
everything.
you out.
You have my card. I go, no, your tab. I don't have your card. Your name's not on the computer. I
You've
gave
already
you my
cashed
card.
out
Yes.
with me.
And it does get annoying, but it's funny because drunk people get offended. And I'm like, you're the one causing offense, first of all. Like, it's you're the problem.
Mhm.
And second of all, like, you're so worried about being talked to like a child or something, and then
Yeah.
you start acting like a petulant child. It's like you're not doing yourself any favors.
Mhm.
It's like hockey. I think you can argue with the ref all the way to the box, but you're still getting the penalty.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's and then if you make
Love
it worse,
hockey.
I'm like, listen, now we do like levels of banning people, where it's like, listen, don't come back for a month. Take a break. And that seems to be the only thing that scares people. Like, they don't want to not be able to go where all their friends go.
I think we've got quite a few people that we have to do that too.
Yeah,
For
just
sure.
take a break. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, and working one night a week at each place,
Yeah.
I miss a lot. Like I miss a lot,
Same.
especially at Bar Builder. We have a ton of staff, and I know the ones that work Mondays with me, and that's pretty much it. But then also, like everybody's buzzing about something happened. I'm like, what happened? Like all this stuff happens on the other 6 nights that I'm not there. So
I know.
like at the tavern, we have a text thread so we can communicate with each other and let each other know what's going on and different events and whatever. Or just keep an eye on this person. They might have been a little bit inebriated last time, and so we told them to cool it.
And I tell people all the time, like we've had plenty of people permanently. There's like, one time it's a bad night, 2 times it's to me now it's a habit.
Yeah.
You're going to keep doing it. Like if you get in a fight or you do something terrible once and then you come back and apologize, as long as you handle it well, okay, hey, bad night.
Yeah.
We're in the industry. We'll write it off. But if you do it the same exact thing again later, like you're going to keep doing that. So we're just going to wipe our hands clean of you and be done. But like our group chats blow up with people. This guy walked out on a tab. This guy's banned. This guy, and then we go to all the security and then it goes into our scanners. So if they scan their ID, it says they're not allowed.
Oh, okay.
What I don't like is when you know the person
I know. It's the
and
worst.
then your boss is looking at you like, you know this person? They just threw up all over my floor.
Yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of do. And you got to get them together and get them outside and give them an Uber. And
if you visit your friend that's bartending somewhere, you should be the example for how to act at a bar.
Yeah, on your best behavior.
Yes.
Have fun. Have fun, absolutely.
Listen,
but
we'll
on your
hook you up.
best behavior.
Don't come in just looking for free shit. Don't get in a fight. Don't throw up.
Yeah.
Don't get over intoxicated and cause a scene. Because trust me, it's not, you go home and sleep it off. We hear about that shit forever.
oh, absolutely.
Like, Jen's buddy Mike is back causing fucking problems every Monday night. This guy,
My
Yeah, he does.
reputation precedes me.
but no, you do get shit for that. And bartenders talk even in between bars, like around here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I've brought this up on another show. There was a guy who was a habitual going around and he would hit different places, run up a $300 tab and walk out.
Oof.
And then he'd disappear for 6 months and do it again. And everyone in this whole zip code knows him.
Mhm.
See, I don't know how this place is, but because I've never been here up until today, but at Whiskey River, we take your card, we pre-authorize it,
We
and
do
then
too.
they leave. We give them back their card. So
So
we don't keep their card. So at the end of the night, if I've got 30 tabs open because none of them closed them out, we're not allowed to add tips onto that.
see, we say that's why that's one of the reasons why we keep cards. And 2, our system requires the card to close.
Mhm.
So I can't just it pre-authorized it, but it doesn't save the account information. So I can't just press credit card and it has that stored. I have to use the card or tap or insert the chip, whatever, again.
Oh, see,
To do that.
we can just hit OK and then it runs the card, but we're not allowed to add
But it
any
also-
gratuity on.
But it also motivates people to come and close their tabs because they want their card back.
Sure.
And on top of that, we do have a sign that says, 20% gratuity added for any cards left.
See, now that's a lot of bars do that. We do that at Titus Tavern.
Mhm.
We don't do that at Whiskey River.
I'm going to have to write a strongly worded letter to your manager.
Yeah, I usually
Mm.
ask people, just leave your tab open. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, right.
Because then I get tipped better.
Yeah, right. That's the
Right.
thing with the younger kids that we have on Friday and Saturday nights at Magpie. They're so worried about leaving their card because that's all $18 they have. Sorry, kids, I love you, but they keep closing out and closing out and closing out.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
some of them
yeah,
don't tip at all. Some of them tip what they can. They're a good crowd, but they don't want to leave their tab open for a long time because they're afraid to do it. But I would probably make more money if they did do that because then it's a guaranteed 20% on a bigger tab.
Yeah.
But what do you guys do if someone at Whiskey runs up a $400 tab and authorized for a couple bucks, they walk out and it declines and you don't have the card?
Good question.
Yeah, because that's another thing that we do because they have to. So that's another thing for from the the back end of things is they have to pay that tab.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a card declines, we put it back in inventory
Mhm.
and then their tab is printed out, wrapped around their card. We text in our group chat and it says, this person's card got declined. They have to pay this tab before they get their card back.
So fortunately, we have not encountered that yet.
That's good. I mean, you guys probably have an older
At
clientele.
Whiskey,
Right.
but not at the tavern.
Definitely.
we have a wall of shame.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I need to open up a whole nother location for enough wall
Yeah.
space for
I
all
love
this.
Titus Tavern because it's such a quaint bar.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody coming through.
Well, and our slogan is There are no strangers here, just friends you haven't met yet.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Yeah.
And that's kind of how, Magpie is for me, because
Yeah.
everyone kind of that's so many people I've met through there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's, like you said, the culture of the bar, all those things. Those places last a long time
mhm.
because that mentality is really instilled in the patrons and the staff. So I've been at Magpie since 2008. So I've seen how it started and what made that happen. And it's interesting to see how anyone we hire fits into that adapts into that well, and the new clientele adapts into that well. Like how Magpie's been like the Cheers of Park Avenue forever. And it's been that for every generation that's come through.
Yep.
So it's really cool to see that. But at the tavern, how you guys do with comp tabs? Like, are you allowed to, buy a lot of drinks for people?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has been discussed with John, our owner, that it's usually a percentage of sales. So as long as if your
Right.
sales are low, you hopefully didn't comp a lot.
Yeah, that we
But-
do that. We kind of do the same thing. We've kind of minimized the comp tabs, but that's another thing that makes the bar what it is.
Yeah. I have just recently learned that at Titus Tavern. I've never really comped anybody before
Mhm.
up until one of the coworkers said I could do that. And I was like, really?
Yep.
So other than that, I really
Yeah,
never really
other
comped
places-
anybody anything.
Yeah, other places I've worked, there is no comp tab, or like when I first started bartending, or the first place I trained to bartend, but I never ended up bartending there in LA. The manager said, free drinks are an incredible marketing tool, but you can't abuse them. You can't do it too much because then it's money.
Right.
And it makes people feel special. But if you do it too much, then it's like everybody expects it, Then we get into entitled regulars.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think our biggest thing at Titus Tavern is the chips, the bar chips.
Yep.
We sell a ton of bar chips.
The free drink chips.
Yes, the
Yeah.
free drink chips. We
Yep.
go through a ton of those.
So that would be an inventory nightmare from the way I look at things. But at the same time, that's great because at least it's coming back.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I got a ton of them.
Yeah. Oh, we keep running out. We have to order more, and
You got
people-
enough for a whole comp tab.
I
right?
probably do, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some nice people come in, they just slap a stack of chips on the bar.
Yep.
It looks like it's a casino. I mean, it's
And I've told people I work with, or our staff, and people I've managed, I'm like, listen, comp and drinks every once in a while. People that if they treat you well, they come back, they start visiting you more.
Mhm.
Try to comp drinks more towards the end. If they're just coming in to get a free shot or a free beer from you and then
Yeah.
leaving. Plus, if your good friends won't expect it, it's something you do out of courtesy because they always spend
Right.
money, they always take care of you. There's a return on that investment for the bar and for the bartender.
Mhm.
But you start getting people that are just hounding bartenders and become friends with them to get free drinks.
Yeah.
Tell them, I go, listen, if your friends are only coming in because of the free drinks, you're just making a percentage of less sales because
Mhm.
they're not gonna tip you. That's the kind of person they are. They're not gonna tip you on what the tab would have been, which is how they should do it.
Yeah, that happen. That does not
Right.
happen very often.
Because I've had it before where I'm like, oh, this guy, I also try to do it with I've been at Magpie so long, I try to do it with new customers I see to turn them into a more regular customer.
Yeah.
And they'll spend some money, I'll buy them a, yeah, this one's on me. And then they just don't tip or they stiff you. I'm like, well, that was a waste of a fucking drink.
That's
God,
probably one of the
thanks.
negatives too with the bar chips, like the drink chips.
Mm.
Like they'll get a drink, they'll come in, they'll hand you the chip, and they'll walk away.
Yeah.
Realizing that it just served you a drink, but they don't tip you.
Yeah, and whoever bought the chip may or may not have tipped when they bought the chip. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
You do a lot of to-go stuff from the bar at Barville where you have to take the order, put it in, get it right, check the order, and cash them out, and they don't tip for that.
yeah, I think so. And that's funny. A guy came in last night and sat down at the bar. He said, look, I tried calling, I couldn't get through. And then I went online, I couldn't find where to order. I said, well, we don't do call ahead ordering.
That's good.
If you come in and there's a seat for you to sit, then you can order food to take out.
Right.
But that's just the way that they do it.
That's really
And
smart.
the GM really stresses the fact that the food is best when it's fresh and eaten right there. We can't guarantee the quality once it walks out the door
Right.
because it takes 15 minutes to get home. It's cooled off, and then it's just
Right.
not, so we
And then people are so eager to get stuff so fast. They'll order so far ahead. It's been sitting there for 20 minutes.
yeah.
They get caught in traffic or something else. And it's I wanted to make sure it was ready when I got there because
Yep.
people are so impatient. Now that's a good way to do it. And it's also, it's tough to do food specials when, because everyone will just do it to go. Food specials or wing specials or whatever.
Usually
You make your money back by people that sit down and eat it because they're also going to be drinking.
Yeah.
Because you're taking, food's got a thin enough margin as it is. I remember, a friend of ours that had a place, he was doing these these wing specials on Sundays and like these steak and crab special. It was crazy, but everyone was just ordering it to go. And so he was like, no more to go. And like he would serve it in baskets and people started stealing the baskets and just bringing it home.
Wow.
It was like, I was like, dude, you got to have, it's got to be like with a drink purchase or something.
Right.
Bar service only. So they'll sit there, wait for their food, get it in a plastic basket and go home with it.
Yeah.
Like,
So I can relate a lot to that at Salvatore's when I worked at Salvatore's, because I know you don't think of Salvatore's as being a bar, but the one at the garage door, we have actually I think there's 6 or 7
Mhm.
Salvatore's at his
Mhm.
bar. And the one that I worked at, I managed. And there was a big, huge thing with it because we have a walk up area where it was just for slices and to go orders and
Mhm.
pickups. But then people would place their order saying it's to go, and then they would come and sit at the bar and eat it. When
Oh,
that's
so-
my
Oh.
job is to
Right.
wait on.
Right.
So they wanted to get out of tipping you.
Correct.
What a it's amazing the
happens
things that people will do.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I would be like, no, Bart, you have to order a drink if you're sitting at the bar. Fuck that. Because that's what people don't understand. Like, we talk about the intricacies of the industry, whether ownership, management, bartending, all the above. And those are the things that it kills us,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because now you're taking up space from, not only you're not spending money with me and tipping me, you're also taking up space from someone who would. And that's why, we
Yeah.
we
And
get,
then I got to clean up your mess.
yeah. And I had to labor, lost money twice. And, it's just crazy that people have no fucking shame. They'll just sit there and be like,
They
I'm
don't.
being a scumbag. You know what? I know it. This was my plan. You got to figure it out. But I'm going to sit here for 20 minutes and eat.
Mhm.
That happened so much there that it irked me so bad. I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but it just pissed me
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck off so bad.
Whoa. Language.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. Well, and so to answer your question, at Bar Bill, anybody at the bar, they order food from me. I put it in and make sure I get everything right. And then the food runner brings it out to the bar and the customer boxes it up. Or if I'm not super busy, I try to box it up for people because then maybe they'll throw me a couple bucks.
Right.
I'd say probably 2/3 of the people that get takeout don't tip. And then sometimes people will tip a full 20%. And it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's because I have stuff where people will order, I'm a bartender. Sometimes before my bar back comes in, I'll have to make food, but they won't tip me on food. They feel like they saw me go make it. It's Magpie. It's
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
see me not go make it.
I've
But
never been there.
It's a weird, I've never left there. It's a dark hole, black hole of happiness and sadness all at once. But I just feel like sometimes people like food or they're taking it to go or whatever. They don't feel like there was any labor involved,
Mhm.
and there still is.
Well, and again, those are, I think, the people that don't tip. And look, if somebody comes and gets takeout and they don't tip me, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
focused on my
Yeah.
customer sitting
I
at the
mean,
bar.
if it's only once in a
But-
while, I get it. But if
Yeah.
it's constantly like it was at my other job,
Mhm.
it gets annoying.
That would just
frustrating.
that makes you that would make my blood boil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are probably people that haven't worked in the service industry. So they don't know about, as a bartender, I make cocktails for the servers. So the servers tip me out at the end of the night. Then the food runner brings food to the bar for my customers. I tip out the food runner at the end.
Right.
So they don't know how the tips kind of
Intricacies.
ebb and flow. And
Right.
It is probably a lot of people that don't know, but I also do think it's people that there are people that are going there to try to cheat the system.
Sure.
And save every dollar. And then those are the
Absolutely.
people like we were talking about. Those are the people that come back to where's my service? And dude, you fuck with me every time. I'm not giving you any attention.
Yeah.
It's, you earn it. All the hookups or the good service you get. It's our job to do it.
Mhm.
But the better you are, the better we're going to be.
Right.
And because, we're out there hustling, trying to make as much money as possible. And I'm not going to spend my time with someone has no problem. You're going to sell your reputation and dignity with me for, to save $3 on a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know, and you could tell when someone's not going to be a good tipper. You could tell, just when they walk into demanding, and they're already like, this guy's going to get mad at me. So he's going to be a dick to me for being cheap. So I'm just going to be a dick first because that's the only way I can just kind of
Preemptive.
counter that.
Yeah, preemptive strike.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, I see right through you, man. Now I got to
Yeah.
fucking deal with you.
I specifically remember these group of guys that would come in and they would purposely go up to the counter and order and sit down at a table. Well, the tables are for dine-in only, which is me. I'm also the bartender and the server.
Oh, yeah.
So I told the guys, I said, listen, guys, next time you come in, just so you're aware, I go, the tables are for dine-in only. Doesn't matter if I got nobody in there. Doesn't matter if I got 20
Got to
people
be
and then
consistent.
Mhm.
tables are for dine-in only. Oh, okay, sorry about that. They come in again and do it.
Of
And I
course.
was like, "You guys are killing me here. What are you
Yeah.
trying to do to me? Like, really get my
And it,
blood boiling here?"
Mhm.
Like,
what kind of person gets a rise out of like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna go there and shit all over her job and
and they
you
do
know,
it again and again.
fuck
And
that.
finally, you're
Yeah.
just like, "What are you gonna do? Kick them out?"
You could.
That's also an ownership. Like, so we're lucky enough that like our ownership and management is very like, and we always try to be very supportive of staff. Like
Yeah.
people that I know that I'm cool with, like, well, this happened, this happened. I go, listen, the bouncer said this, the bartender said this. I'm not gonna put that. I'm no offense. I'm really more worried about keeping them happy here than you.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
owner, the owner was very supportive in all of it. He, totally was on our side and understood everything. It's just like if you got different girls working up in the front and they don't know how to actually like word things when the customer
Right.
comes up and they don't say, "Are you picking up, taking out, dining in?" And if those words are not said to these people,
Yeah.
it just
Right over their head.
right over that.
And it is difficult. Now I feel bad, especially, we got like young girls that work for us and people just walk all over them sometimes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's tough to be tough, but a lot of the people like that I work with that I've had on the show, they've talked about how they've hardened up over the years of, and that's
Mhm.
really the only way you get results. I mean, there's some people that are understanding and nice, but the people that are out to cause problems, out to give you a hard time, you got to be a dick. So that's the
Yep.
only language they speak. That's the only thing that's going to
Sure.
get them to do anything.
Yep.
And, from staff to customers, everyone's replaceable. Like, well, last time I come here, I go, perfect. I don't even have to ban you.
Yeah.
There's 3 people waiting to take your spot.
Well, it's funny because we have the same ownership, like all up
Uh,
and down Park Ave. Like, Johnny owns three bars now on Park Ave. Like, fuck this, I'm going down the street. This place sucks. I'm like, all right, man, go ahead. Same drop in the same bucket, I guess. I don't really.
So you try
Matter
to
to me.
hurry to get down there
Little do
before
they
them.
know.
So you're
Yeah.
behind the bar like, hey, heck, what can I do for
Oh,
you?
but they also don't know if they're really bad. We'll text ahead, and then
Yeah.
like they'll walk into the next bar like, I fucking heard about you. Just get out of here. Go. To your house."
That's even better.
So the next thing I've had it happen before where I'll text on a half pint or Pecker or Public House. So we have Public House. Like this guy, red shirt, blonde hair.
Yeah.
He was a dick or I'm going down the street. Fuck this place. And then I could tell that they've stopped at every place. They come back to Magpie with their tail between their legs. Like, I'm sorry, man. So I was out of line. Like, yeah, you
That's-
fucking were.
That feels good.
Oh, yeah,
it
That
does.
feels really good.
Well, it shows the network of bartenders we
Mhm.
have. And,
Mhm.
we're not going to, if you had a bad experience with someone, I'm not going to go throw the next person down the street to the wall. It's like, oh, not my problem.
Sure.
And I've done that before and sent pictures to people and said what he did and, someone that we just don't want around. And like we said, that's the biggest fear is people not being able to go or, hey, let's go to this place tonight. Hey, sorry, I can't. I was an asshole and they won't let me back in
Yeah.
there. That's the biggest threat to people. But it's tough to mitigate it. And how you approach people. Everyone's got a nice shot the first time. I'll be nice. I'll be cordial. I'll be professional.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna push back, it's also a bar. This isn't corporate. Where I work.
When do you take it to the like? How far? Like, you say you work at you work at Magpie or whatever, and somebody's really really drunk, like passed out, sitting in a chair.
Yeah. Well,
Kick them out.
Well,
Goodbye,
we
see you
make sure
later?
if there's anyone like I said, like you see people that they come in drunk, and we didn't serve them much or at all. We always make sure people get home safe. Make sure they're with somebody. But Magpie is long and narrow, so like you see people like those high top tables we have.
Yeah.
If they hit a couple of those tables trying to go back to the bathroom, like okay, when they get out of the bathroom, we're going to escort them out. Make sure they have a ride home. Make sure they're not driving. Make sure they have a support system. But it's crazy that people can honestly put it together just to get through the door, and then they fall apart like on a Saturday night.
As
Like,
soon as they step
get
over
that-
the threshold.
my ID, sir. And they come in like, bleh. And I'm like, okay, this person's
Yeah.
got to fucking go.
Yeah.
And, we try to get people waters, if they're nice and they're just a little more intoxicated.
Right.
And you try to work with people like, hey, I'm here to care for you too, not just to serve you. I don't want to send you out into the world if you came in from somewhere else or from home
Right.
intoxicated. I'm not just gonna be like, nope, get the fuck out. And then just send you out into the world. We try to be responsible. But, there's people that do turn a corner quick too. That one last shot that just gets to them or they
Yep.
get sick or.
Well, I did it. I think it was like my second week at Whiskey River, and this young man was there, came with a bunch of friends. Well, they left him. The kid was just sitting in the chair, just
Oh, no.
slumped over.
Oh,
Just
bad friends.
my boss, obviously, was closing time. He told him he had to leave. He leaves. So now we're all done cleaning up the bar, and I go to leave. All those girls are walking out together, and the kids just sit there, just
Like
on the ground.
outside?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
outside. And mom mode kicked in, you know?
Yeah.
And you could tell he's like 22, 23 years old. And I was like, "Are you okay? Do you have an Uber coming?" And he's just like, "Oh, she can't even talk." I said, "Well, let me see your phone." So now I'm trying to order him an Uber off his phone. His phone was not working. I couldn't get the app to work.
Mm.
So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to get him an Uber off my phone. $17. Get this kid home. He lived in a nice neighborhood. He kind of lived maybe 5 minutes from me, but I don't want some stranger in my car.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
right.
I just get him an Uber. And I was like, remember my face. I said, you owe me money, which
Yeah.
I didn't care about. I
Right.
said, but do not throw up in this guy's car.
Right. Because then you're going to owe me more money.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, then it's on
Because
me.
it's
The
a
cleaning fee.
$250 fine
Oh, yeah.
if you throw up in an Uber driver.
Yeah.
No, I've had people send, I told this story once before. I've had people send like people we know home in an Uber. And like we have to follow it and track it and make sure that they got home
Mhm.
okay because it's
Yeah.
on someone else's phone. And one time, this fucking guy, we knew him, so like we knew he was going to be fine. But the fucking Uber started rerouting and it brought him to another bar.
Oh,
Oh, no.
And then she called him. She goes, "Steve, I fucking know you're here. I saw." She goes, "No, I'm home."
Well, I'm not-
music playing in the background at the bar.
I'm not done. Wait to hear the rest of the story.
Oh, it's more.
Well, the Uber driver calls me at like almost 3:00.
Oof.
And I was like, oh boy, what's this number? It's Uber. It comes up Uber. And I was like, hello? He's like, hi, this is the Uber driver. He goes, your brother, he threw up all in my car.
Oh no.
And I went, oh my God, no, he didn't. He goes, yes, he did. And he goes, there's a really big fine for people throwing up in Uber cars.
I'm pretty sure he has a wallet in his back pocket. Just grab that.
He said, he's like, well, I'm gonna see if anybody's home when I drop him off and then see if anybody can come out and help me clean this up. So nobody came out. And he said that he was going to try to help me save the fee. So next day I had gotten a total of it was like $130 total on my card.
Which is less than what it should be.
Correct. I remember I had to go to work that next day at Whiskey, and then I went to Titus Tavern. And I said, right after work, I'm going straight to this kid's house.
Oh, you remember you had his fucking address.
I had his
Yeah.
address.
Yeah, good point.
Went straight to his house. I'm knocking on the door. They got a camera. I was like, well, these people, and the lights are on. There's tons of cars in the driveway. Nobody's answering the door. I was like, they're not going to answer the door. They don't recognize the person on the camera. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go next door and see if somebody answers the door over there. So the garage door's open next door. There's tons of cars in the driveway. No lights on though, but they got the camera. I'm ringing, no answer. Okay, let me try the other side. I go to the other side. Finally, this lady comes to the door and I tell her everything that happened. And she's like, oh no. She starts to laugh. She's like, I don't mean to laugh. She goes, but let's go over there together because maybe they'll recognize me. Maybe they'll answer the door. They don't answer the door. But her daughter is friends with the kid. So the daughter comes home. She calls him. She's like, hey, are you home? And he goes, yeah. She goes, you need to come outside. Comes outside. And I go, do you remember me? She goes, I can't say I do. He's got Gatorade in his hand.
Doesn't
surprise
"Golly,
me."
So
He's just dying already.
Yeah. And I go, I was the one who got you your Uber. And he goes, and I threw up in the car. Yes, I did. And hand me the money right there and then.
Oh, that was nice.
So
Well,
just
that's-
lesson learned. Don't ever order an Uber for anybody.
Yeah. Unless it's on their
it's
own
such a
phone.
big risk. And especially in the city, because we do have a lot of local people, which is why Park Ave works out well. People just walk and
Mm-hmm.
it makes us feel good because it's all these kids that live in these apartments out here.
Yeah.
Right.
But you do get the locals that come out from 20, 30 minutes away and they're out on park. And those are the people that usually get the most fucked up. Cause oh, I'm out here. This is a big night to be away
Yeah.
from, kind of like local, but kind of away from my home.
I couldn't leave this kid just laying on the ground.
No, you had to do it. And you got
down
paid
by
back.
the port,
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to sleep though if you just
No.
left that kid there. You'd wake up the next day checking the news, like what happened to this kid. He's in the news somewhere.
Mhm.
But it's tough to because you want to help us, you want to help out because we just see it from a whole different lens. And people do get to that point where they're just drinking out of habit. They don't even realize what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Muscle memory.
yeah, you're just like, oh, can I have a cran? No, absolutely not. You may not. Here's a water.
Yep.
I'll make mocktails for people that think they're drinking still. Half cranberry, half water. Get them some sugar in their system and hydrate them a little bit.
Yeah, they wouldn't even know the difference.
No, and it's funny because I'm like, oh, yeah, it's on me. Don't worry about it.
Mm.
They'll give me some sort of money. They don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before. Watching kids like count cash is really funny because they don't know how to use it. It's all crumpled up. They're
Yeah.
like, this many. Like, I'm like, don't worry, I will do the simple math for you. I even have kids ask me, I'm like, hey, can you break a 20? I'm like, ooh, yeah, all the time, actually. From the first second I open the doors, I could break your 20 with quarters, actually, if I wanted to.
Mike might know this, but there's this one customer of ours that gives us a tip, but he crinkles it up in a little ball.
I don't remember who that is, but that does ring a bell. It's nobody that I see on a regular basis.
It's like literally all crinkled up in a ball.
I have people that'll do that. Like, listen, I don't want to crinkle up your money, but they try to make it into my tip bucket. And I'm like, you know what? If it's more money, I'll deal with it. And then they'll do it. And then I'm like, all right, I made like an extra $12 of them just trying to hit this bucket.
Oh,
then I'm like, now I gotta like bend over and like embarrassingly uncrinkle all these dollars.
Yeah.
And then, no offense, Nick, our manager, I put him at the bottom of the drawer and I take out nice ones. So Nick gets stuck with those.
Yeah. Sorry, TT, too. That's the same thing.
Yeah. I'm sure that's the one the money counter does not actually adjust for. Like, can't count these.
Yeah.
You guys do more credit cards or cash? A little bit of both? Depends where?
Whiskey River, definitely a lot more credit cards than cash.
I'm sure because people probably know they're there for at least the time length of a show.
Well, it's food too. So I think with the bill, it's a little bit larger than a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the tavern is probably half and half. Bar bill is definitely credit cards the majority of the time.
Yeah. It's probably longevity, more food. And
yeah.
It's nice to get your credit cards at the end of the night, though.
Yeah, which we don't do. It's funny, right before I was hired at Bar Bill, or actually I was hired at Bar Bill, but before I even had a chance to work, they changed the policy to putting the tips in the paycheck.
Your paycheck, yeah.
We've gotten dangerously close to that because it is a younger clientele at night. That's where we do our biggest volume. Like our daytime clientele is way different than night, but we've gotten dangerously close that we can't get enough change to make all the drawers back. We're still teetering on the edge of, do we got to put tips in? We still get a lot of cash tips. I mean, so it's not like we're walking out with nothing.
Yeah.
But it's getting close because cash is unfortunately disappearing. I actually have people walking like, hey, do you take cash? I'm like, fuck yeah.
Please.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Please.
I want to say cash only. What are you talking about?
That's like that when you go to like the Bills games and
right.
Because everything's
just all card. Yeah.
Yeah, and they want to be able to trace everything, and they want people giving away shit because it's obviously so corporate there.
But that's all I hear about is the fraud. Like,
oh yeah,
your boss or the owner is just like, oh, I've got so many disputes on this card and that card, and it's
what a nightmare. Cash is just nice and simple. I miss actually counting out stuff. It's kind of like part of the experience as a bartender.
Counting money. Who doesn't?
Yeah, right. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's not when they're crinkled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I managed a restaurant in LA, and every night, not only do you count the drawer behind the bar, but then you go in the safe and you have to unwrap all the singles, like the 50 and 100, and count each of those wraps and then rewrap. It was a lot. It's the only place I've ever had to do that, but it was every night.
Were you like a manager or was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So they had to make sure that all the money was there. It's pretty much you putting your name on it. Like, hey, yes, I counted all this and it's all here.
Yeah.
Because we make sure that all of our staff fills out slips at the end of the night to get their drawer back to where it was or less if they pulled more cash tips than they had cash sales. And it just keeps everyone accountable.
Yeah. Like,
hey, my name's on this drawer. It's some people I'm more flexible about it because my drawer is never off more than $1 or $2. But, it's, when you're a bartender, that's your drawer. You are responsible for that money. If it is short.
That's one thing that I'm used to doing is I was always responsible at all of my jobs up until now. Like, we don't count the drawer before or after. And it's just like, I don't want to be responsible for anything.
Yeah. But we start at a certain amount. We have to count out at the end of the night.
Yep.
Then it runs our report. If you're under, you owe. And that's actually, I closed Half Pint the other night, which I rarely work at Half Pint, but for me, like Half Pint's a whole different animal. It's the Magpie's chaos and craziness and volume. And Half Pint, you can make good money and it's just like smooth sailing. I had my kids for 3 days straight. My wife worked a couple overnights at the hospital, and like working a shift at Half Pint was like being on vacation. I felt like I was at a resort. I was like, people are just calm and chill and slow, just beers and a drink and no 10, 15 green tea shots, none of that shit.
I find it really like when I go to different places, like I've been to California and there's a bunch of us who went out to the bar and we're like, can you make us like 6 green tea shots? And she's like, what are those?
Oh yeah.
There's like, they probably don't even have serve sets.
Yeah. It's the culture is different everywhere as far as how people drink, how people bartend. Like I went out, I used to go to New York City for a conference for my day job every year. And we were hanging out at this one bar and I was telling the bartender, I go, give all these guys bubbles for the next round. She goes, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, really? And I had to explain it to him. Then she's like, well, we have drink chips. And I was like, okay, that's the same thing.
Mhm.
But here there's chips and there's bubbles.
Right.
But the bubbles for us, we don't do chips because
Shot glass.
yeah, it's just a shot glass upside down and you have to cash it in right there.
Mhm.
So we make sure that, we at your at
I
least
used to do that for the shot glasses, but then I find that people would steal the shot glass.
people fucking steal
Oh, it's
everything.
a free drink. I got to
Yeah.
take it with me if I'm not drinking it now.
People steal
Right.
everything. I've told this story before where like there was this, these TikTok challenges now and shit with these young kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell like stuff will go missing and things like that. Like bar mats was a thing. And then my wife, she saw our tenants who live next door to us on Snapchat. They were our tenants,
Oh, with all kinds of
all
stuff.
of our bar mats. And I was like, bring those back. She goes,
No
I'm
way.
so sorry. I go, I get it. Or bring them back. But that's the thing that like people don't understand. Like all this stuff back here is worth its weight in gold.
Mhm.
Sure.
Like napkins, straws, everything like that. That's why prices go up because these things all go
Oh,
up.
paper products are
It's insane right now.
very insane.
And it's not just a free for all where this stuff
Yeah.
it doesn't reappear every time you leave and then come back.
Right.
That's
It does for them, but
Yeah, it
not
does
for
for- yeah.
us.
I always
Like-
remember, only give 2 napkins per person. I'm just like, they're eating chicken wings. Like, they're going to want more than 2 napkins. Why don't
Yeah.
you just buy napkins bulk
Just
from
give them a bar
Costco
rag
or
at that
something?
point. We stopped serving food past a certain time because I'll never forget this one time. These drunk like younger couple came in at like 1:30. They were here. They were out earlier. Then they left. They came back absolutely smashed and ordered like chicken wings at like 1:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And it was like garlic parm and medium mixed. And they had just met that night. And they were just going home. They were just going home to hook up. You could tell. And they were just sitting there
Garlic
drunkenly,
parm,
drunkenly eating garlic parm shit
everywhere.
and not wiping their hands. They were just full of sauce and like, that's gonna be gross.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like sure, guys, come outside. I'll hose you off on the mop sink or something. 'Cause this is like, I mean, like even with each other all night. You're gonna seal the deal, and you might have just blown it right at the end here.
Mhm.
Speaking of gross, many, many years ago, my girlfriend opened up a bar up at Canandaigua, right when you get off the exit, called Scarlett's.
Mm-hmm.
And she would do all kinds of events for certain people. And one of the events she would do would be a swingers night.
Oh,
So
interesting.
she asked
Like-
me if I would,
Sexy swingers,
yeah,
not dancers.
no, like swingers.
Yes. Polyamorous folk.
Correct.
Man, imagine going to one of those things like, hey, you too?
Wait a minute.
So she asked me to bartend, and I was like, sure. Went there. Me and my girlfriend went together, and my husband and her husband were barbecking for us. And the things that we saw,
Yeah.
oh my
I
Lord.
can imagine.
You probably shouldn't tell anyone that your husbands were working for you. Be like, oh, the staff too. This is fucking.
One of them wanted my husband. I was like,
How
Staff's
much?
not included. Well, yeah.
she came up with like, they had like a little nurse's outfit. I think it was like a Halloween theme. And she had like a little nurse's suit on, but it went like over her breasts.
hmm
So they were just all hanging out and stuff. And she was like, oh, you can hang up my coat too if you want, sweetie. And my husband gets very shy and he's like,
No.
slowly walks away. I was like, good
Good,
move.
good, it's a good test. This is a good test.
No, thank you. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
God.
But it was quite the experience, I'd have to say.
I'm sure. That's interesting.
Recommend it for everybody.
Just to
Where-
bartend
when-
a swingers event. So book now at Titus Tavern. Because that's the only, I mean, that or Barbell. I
Come
don't
in
think it's
for
happened at Barbell.
Mike's Candy Jar Mondays.
What kind of candy you got, Mike?
So do you guys, I mean, we've all been doing this a long time. You guys just see it keeping on going? You're just going to ride this out to the end? You're going to be in for a while?
We'll see. So when the tavern first opened, I was closing 4 nights. I closed Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I worked full-time days. Talking about counting drawers reminded me of one night when the end of the night, everybody's gone, and I was counting the drawer down, and I kept like nodding off, standing at the drawer,
Yeah.
and I like look up at the clock. I'm like, oh, I'll get out of here kind of early tonight, and I kept nodding off, and then finally I counted the drawer, and then I looked back at the clock, and I was like a half an hour had passed. I think I was asleep on my feet for a half an hour.
Wow.
I don't want to go back to those days. I do, 2 shifts, about 1 at each bar. And that's plenty with the full-time day work.
I'm down to
I don't know.
2 and that's about right. It's enough
Yeah.
money. And you can always pick up, like having at least, 2 for me, just with my other life stuff, work and kids and all that other shit. I think, you got to keep the balance somewhat.
Yeah.
And I've had not off nights too, where you're just like, this isn't even healthy anymore. But it is, to stay involved and make enough money to keep it going. Yeah. And what about you? You're picking up jobs now. So
Yeah, well, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Good.
I love the people. I love my regulars. hard to get my regulars to go to certain places.
But that's your only, like,
That's
all your
all I
jobs
do.
are service industry.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
But I probably want to say another maybe 3-4 years when my husband and I are building a house right now. Once that's done, I think that I'm definitely going to cut back a lot more because it
good.
will be paid for and
That's-
I won't really have to work that much.
building on Swingers or Scarlet Lane, or
Yeah.
you guys caught the bug. It's good, and we've talked about it, and it's always good to have. You can always come back to it. You can minimize, you can pick up, you can do whatever. It helps people move up to different cities. It's an easy foot in the door, and it's a good
Absolutely.
it's a good person skill to have. And it leads you to places and leads you to people. And as much as, this always ends up being a lot of it is a bitch fest. It really comes down to, loving what you do. And as much as the people drive you crazy.
It is
you
a
love
lot
them.
of wear and tear on the body too.
It is. It does.
And I feel obligated to stay at Titus Tavern until one of our other bartenders, Jeff, you know who you are. Don't go see Jeff at Titus. No, I'm kidding. We have this like little thing where we talk crap about each other. If we meet somebody that knows the other person out somewhere, they're like, "Oh, really, Jeff?" And then they'll get back to him, and he's like, "Did you meet?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh my God, they were saying you were talking all kinds of crap about me." I go, "I know,
I
we do."
fucking hate you.
Love me a little Jeffy.
But I feel obligated to stay at Titus Tavern until Jeff leaves, because if I go, then he's going to try to like rule over Titus Tavern, and I can't let that happen.
No, you can't. So you and Jeff will be there for a long time.
Yeah,
I think
it's
he
gonna-
probably shares the same sentiment from
was
what
that
I'm
like
picking up.
War of attrition, I think that's what it's called.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
It was
for
great.
having us.
That was cool.
And guys, remember, please like, subscribe, share all these videos best you can. Visit our merch store on the website at behindthepinepodcast.com. And we will see you next time. Cheers.